Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the North American Academy League Championship Series. I'm Nick Tasty Nubbinz alongside Elijah Jabberwocki Andes, bringing you this action live here on Clutch Gaming. Now, Elijah, tonight we open up with a best of one between Clutch Gaming Academy and 100 Thieves Academy. So it's great to be with you here, brother. What can we expect, you think, going into this matchup?
Well, awesome to be here with you as well. Going to be a pretty interesting matchup tonight. I know that we actually have Solo, who Clutch Gaming usually has as their LCS top lane, subbing in for their Academy top lane. And we've also got Brandini, top for 100 Thieves Academy, and Levi for 100 Thieves Academy jungle. And both of those players are actually players who are going to be going into Rift Rival starting positions for 100 Thieves. So we're going to be seeing some LCS starters actually take the field here for the Academy match. So we can look forward to some good things going into this match. And hopefully we'll see some interesting, pretty high-level play from both teams.
Well, awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're into picks and bans for this game one. On the blue side, we're going to have 100 Thieves Academy, and then on the red trunks, it'll be Clutch Gaming Academy. So, Elijah, so the meta right now is, for lack of a better term, pretty unpredictable. So, what are you expecting here, buddy? What are you expecting?
Yeah, I'd say that considering the teams we're talking about here, Clutch Gaming Academy, 100 Thieves Academy, I'd actually expect pretty standard compositions. You know, I know Piglet loves playing standard AD carries, which is why 100 Thieves is immediately banning those away, taking away the Lucian and the Kaisa, which are both super high priority picks right now. And I'd probably expect to see Levi on a hard carry jungler. It was what he was known for when he was playing with Gigabyte Marines.
Okay.
Other than that, probably just expect pretty standard picks here. We've seen a lot of standard bans already coming out. Lots of common bans like the Talia, obviously very strong, both jungle and mid. The Nocturne, been seeing a lot of play in this unpredictable meta we're in right now. And Morgana, obviously one of the strongest support champions. And of course, Swain, a really strong next pick. Yeah, we've even seen him take an ADC recently. So I'd expect a pretty standard game.
Well, so first pick up there by Brandini locks that one up in. We've already got, what is that, Rakan. So how do you figure that one? Do you think we're going to get the pair-up matchup with Xayah and Rakan? And then also, did you see any of those bans targeted? Obviously, we talk about Piglet getting targeted out for those 80 carries, but I know Talia, especially on the side of 100 Thieves Academy, has been a big champion for Levi in that jungle pickup. So, another target ban.
Yeah, and Levi loves playing those hard carry junglers, as I was saying. So banning out junglers with the potential to really get into the backline and assassinate people like Nocturne and Talia is probably a good call by Clutch. I would assume that we're going to be seeing the Xayah Rakan combo, but I think it was smart of them to pick Rakan first because even without Xayah, he's a very viable support right now. And I think the Trundle pick from Levi is actually pretty interesting because Trundle is actually more of like a supporting jungle, really good at getting into the front line and shredding that armor, which can be seen as a counter pick to the Sejuani that it looks like Moon is going to be playing. But it's not something that you typically expect from Levi since he tends more towards those hard carry, high damage junglers.
Well, so they do lock in also the Xayah Rakan with that Trundle, like you said, for 100 Thieves Academy. And then Solo is on the Sejuani. We've got Zoe from Moon, which is a pick that Sun has played a lot of in the mid lane. Something to expect there. They could also flex pick that somewhere else, I guess. Piglet's favorite champion in the world is Ezreal. So even with the target out, he's still probably going to be sitting pretty good at home on that Ezreal pick if they decide to go with that for him.
Yeah. He seems to be mostly just playing Lucian Ezreal as much as he possibly can. Right. So,
and then
definitely a strong pick.
Up next, we got a couple more bans out for the second series, Braum and Malzahar. So, as far as I know, with the meta the way it is, Braum is a champion that is a non-stop pick ban.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he can be taken mid and funnel compositions to kind of help jungle for the ADC, hold mid lane so the ADC can get back and farm that. He's a very viable support bot lane. So, yeah, he's nearing that 100% pick ban rate right now for sure.
That's kind of something we thought would happen, especially with also Kaisa and then Aurelia. It's pretty much just pub stompy bans at this point. So obviously target bans out, but at the same time they're just picks that are so damn popular right now. And Ornn's going to be the last one of that series. And right now back to Clutch Gaming Academy for the picks, and Piglet's looking to hover over that Tom Kench.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think the Ornn ban is a good call because Solo loves playing Ornn and LCS. So good call on 100 Thieves for that. I think the Twisted Fate that we're seeing locked in for Linsanity right here is actually pretty interesting. Don't see Twisted Fate that much. But I do really like the Tom Kinch pick for Vulcan. We already saw Braum and Morgana banned away from Vulcan because he loves those playmaking supports. But the Tom Kinch, you know, the Rakan Xayah combo, their level 2 is so good. And Tom Kinch adds a lot of survivability to the Ezreal, being able to eat him out of that combo and just get him to safety. So I really like that pick for Clutch.
So it looks like while we were talking also, Dr. Mundo lucked in on Stunt, so that will probably, I would imagine, be going up in the top lane to Brandini. And Vulcan humming over Aatrox right now. So it is important to note we're on patch 8.12 at this point in time for this video. So this is before Aatrox takes any kind of differentials or anything like that. And it is locked in. So we do have our compositions all picked out and pinpointed. So Elijah, what are your thoughts looking at our compositions? What catches your eye?
Honestly, looks like pretty standard team compositions to me. You know, we've got pretty standard top lanes. I do think it is hilarious. We've seen so many teams locking in Aatrox. He's another top lane champion that's actually been nearing that 100% pick ban. And of course, he got reworked. So LCS players looking to eke that last bit of viability out of him before he's gone forever. But, you know, it looks like we have pretty standard team compositions. Both teams kind of picked up a good supportive jungle. Obviously, Trundle is going to have an advantage leading into the early game, a lot more dueling potential there. So I'd assume we'll see 100 Thieves try and capitalize on that. Solo picked a carry top lane and Aatrox, which should be pretty strong going into Mundo. Obviously, he's a professional LCS player, so I assume his mentality is probably going to try and make the best out of his ability to probably carry this Academy game for his team. And other than that, we're seeing pretty standard team compositions with the Xayah Rakan bot lane, the Tom Kinch Ezreal bot lane, and the mages mid. So
all right, so I'm going to do this. I do this for every single game that I cast with everybody that I cast with. Give me your keys to the dub for both sides. And then also give me some kind of prediction, Elijah.
I would say that 100 Thieves is probably going to be looking to play through the bottom side of the map if they're going to want to win. Obviously, they're going to see Solo is a huge threat, but also you've got Mundo, who doesn't really hard carry from the top lane. You know, he's a great tank. He's a great damage sponge. He can do a lot in team fights, but carrying through the Mundo, probably not going to happen. And Twisted Fate, not a very common pick, so I would doubt that we'd be seeing them trying to play a lot through the mid lane. So I think bottom is where it's at for 100 Thieves. I think their win condition is going to be utilizing that Xayah Rakan effectively with the Trundle. And I think it's the opposite for Clutch Gaming. I think they're totally going to try to play through the top lane. Obviously, they've got Solo, who's a professional LCS player. Can't say it enough. They're going to be trying to use that while he's on that carry to their advantage as much as they possibly can. Aatrox is super strong right now. So I think Clutch is definitely going to play through the top of the map. And so I think the win conditions on this will mostly come down to probably who has better macro play ultimately in the game. Both teams have like pretty similar standard comps. Both teams are looking to play through opposite sides of the map. So what we're really going to probably be seeing is a lot of macro play, trying to make those vision advantages, objective advantages really matter.
Okay, well, I've got a couple questions to pick your brain on that when we get into game, but as it stands right now, we are into the 3-minute spectator delay, so we're going to take a quick break in the action and say thanks to Corsair for supplying all program contestants in the Clutch Gaming Next Best Caster competition with free peripherals, so let that be a showing of thanks from us to you. Then when we come back, it's on to the Rift for tonight's feature matchup of Clutch Gaming Academy and 100 Thieves Academy. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back right after this.
I saluted, but you can't see that.
I saluted as well. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and skip this ahead a little bit if I can to when we start up. So
sounds good to me.
Alright, so I'll just let it go, and then whenever it gets on to Summoner's Rift, oh god, what did I do? Oh, there we go. And I'll just start talking whenever it comes back on.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to Summoner's Rift for a special match between Clutch Gaming Academy and 100 Thieves Academy. I am Nick Tasty-Namajako alongside my partner in crime, Elijah Jabberwocki Andes. Now, Elijah, take me through the early game here. So, What's catching your eye here right as we hop on to Summoner's Rift? Keystones, first items, positioning. It looks like we got a typical line of scrimmage.
Yeah, both teams are setting up in fairly traditional positions, but actually, since Levi loves to play really aggressive on junglers, that's kind of his trademark, playing those hard carry aggressive junglers. Obviously, he's not on a carry jungler, but he is on a jungle who has a really strong early game. Trundle's early game is much stronger than Sejuani's by far. So I'd be a little surprised if we didn't see Levi trying to make some aggressive moves. You know, he's got the Mundo there who can act as kind of a meat shield and protect him fairly well if they kind of get in a 2v2 skirmish. So I think that Levi's probably going to be making some aggressive moves, maybe looking to shut down Moon's early game a little bit. Other than that, we're probably going to see both teams playing the first level fairly safe, but I'd be surprised if we didn't see some like level 2 Rakan Xayah.
Well, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of aggressive action from the side of 100 Thieves Academy, just petitioning out to the red buff, getting some deep vision. Solo going to try to catch them here a little bit. Is Brandini going to start the red buff? Moon and Solo looking to potentially collapse, but it looks like they just want to play it safe and back out of here. So they got a little bit of vision, and I can't imagine them sticking around, or will they? Oh my goodness, Brandini and Levi in the area. Solo just cheeky over the wall, but they're still around the red buff though right now.
Yeah, now Moon's in a 1v2, so he's not going to have any fun with that. See Levi kind of getting those raptors.
No, missed out on one creep right there. Levi just duking it out. Oh, you scumbag.
Smites the big raptor away.
So, no smite up to take the red buff, but I guess worth.
Yeah, you know, Raptors is one of the better camps in terms of gold value, and obviously the XP value on Raptors is super strong. So, you know, it might be worth for Levi. I still don't know if smiting it was completely necessary. It looked like he kind of had it on lockdown, but, you know, I guess you do what you think you got to do.
Yeah, man, he wanted it. You got to do what you got to do, exactly. And right now he's taking that scuttle on the top side of the map, it looks like, to get some vision there as well in the river. Giving himself position nicely done for like a level 3, level 4 towards the bottom side of the map, if I do say so myself, on that Trundle.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you know, as I mentioned, his early game way stronger than Moon's on Sejuani. Sejuani, great team fight, not so much dueling power. So he's probably really going to be capitalizing on those early scuttle crabs, looking for those early invades. Yeah.
And bottom lane is really pushed up to start it off for Clutch Gaming Academy, so we could try to make some moves down there. Also, Sun getting harassed a little bit from Linsanity. Is this how you thought this middle lane was going to go to start it up? Because they do land the stun, and Sun is very low, forced to flash. And looks like he's going to
super low. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to see that. You usually see Zoe coming out on top of most.
Flash up and in from Levi. Sun trying to do what he can. First blood goes over, and then the return kill as well. So Levi goes down, but picks up the first blood. So worth it in the end, I guess. And now 1-1 in kills. But Moon going for a nice little blue buff, free and easy money for himself.
Definitely, and I think it is interesting to me that Levi was willing to actually sacrifice himself for that first blood. I don't quite know about that one. They already got Sun's flash, so might have been able to play that a little safer and come out on top somewhere else. But, you know, I mean, Linsanity did get the assist.
So is the 100 extra gold in that regard worth it for you in that situation, or is that kind of a... Would you call that a questionable play?
I'd call it a 50-50 because we're also talking about giving Zoe a kill, and Zoe is so strong. The damage that she can push out is just insane, especially when up against, you know, a squishier opponent like, say, a Twisted Fate. So, you know, I think it might be a little questionable to just give that kill over so early. Since he's Trundle, he has such good early ganking ability. He might have just been able to get a first blood somewhere else on the map if he had looked for it. But, you know, it is 50-50. It might be worth it in the end.
So we're going to just take a minute and slow down here because I don't think we'll have any aggression for just a moment in time, though we do see Levi hopping over the wall, and then Moon also on the top side. Are they looking for a dive right here onto Brandini? So they jump up and in from Solo. They're auto-attacking Brandini. He flashes flash from Solo as well. They get
this
the
is
stun,
disastrous.
and that should be a kill. Solo picks up the kill.
Levi's going in.
Levi wants to get some kind of return here, ladies and gentlemen. They get the stun. Levi, the jump back up and in. No freaking way. Double kill for Solo right off the bat, and that is not what you want from an LCS top laner.
Oof. I'm wincing right now because we know that Brandini and Levi are going to be starting at Rift Rivals, and in terms of game knowledge and playmaking, that was very questionable. You know, I think the right move for Levi there was after he saw Solo and Moon dive Brandini. Oh, wait, we got some action going on. Oh, never mind. Just backing out again.
Gets the arcade shift, so he'll be able to jump to safety. But yeah, I mean, you now got Solo at 43 CS, so he's got dang near a, 15, 16 CS lead on his counterpart and 2 kills early on Aatrox, a champion that is wildly popular and renowned as somebody that's just insanely huge and probably not the best start for you if you're 100 Thieves Academy.
Yeah, I mean, you're Brandini, right? You're playing Mundo, who's pretty much just there to sponge up damage for your team. You're against an LCS top laner who's 2 kills and 21 CS now up on you. Things are not looking that good. And I think that's an example of Levi, trying to go too aggressive, playing like he's on one of those carry champions that can do a little bit more damage, but he's Trundle. He can do some damage, he can't do that much damage, and especially against an Aatrox with the passive proc, there's just no way you're going to kill that effectively, especially with a Sejuani there. So,
well, and now, I mean, he's ahead to this point. He's got the lane pushed up. He's going through the jungle, spots out Levi. They know that blue buff is up. They can make a play if they want to, and Levi is starting that up, and it looks like Moon is coming around to try and make his presence known along with Sun, so see if we have any aggression coming out here. If Moon wants to try to take this one, they do get the knock up, and Levi will secure the blue buff and get out of dodge. Linsanity coming around the backside, but we won't have any casualties from that. So they catch him looking in baseball, but he doesn't strike out. He just kind of fouls and walks away.
Exactly, and I think that this has kind of been a good showcase of the problems Levi has had in North America, right? Because you see all the technical abilities are there. He started off completely manhandling Moon's Sejuani, started off with a pretty significant CS lead, and was easily able to win the 50-50 smite over the blue buff there. But it seems like with the communication, obviously things just aren't going that well if he's going to try for that dive.
We've got a dive on a turret. Payload trying to get knocked up. Stun very, very low. Flashes out. Falcon as well, forced to get a little bit of a shield. He's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the heck are you attacks, dude? Oh my gosh.
Falcon, dirty dog.
Backside, and no casualties in that engagement. First turn all the while top lane goes to Clutch Game Academy. What the heck happened there, Elijah?
Oh my goodness. I don't know what kind of macro 100 Thieves is attempting to have, but it is not up to par. I mean, firstly, they attempt to dive the Tahm Kench Ezreal, which is probably one of the safer bot lanes you can play. You've got Tahm Kench, who just has how many layers of shields? 5, whatever. How many layers of shields he have? He's able to make it out of pretty much anything. Ezreal's got so much mobility. And then, in addition, you give up first tower, and that was actually pretty abysmal from 100 Thieves, not gonna lie. They're gonna be hurting from that one for a while.
Well, looking at the setbacks, so we'll take a look since you kind of segued me into it. Our first gold lead and CS lead of the match, so CGA coming in 3-1 in kills right now. They've got a nice dang near 3,000 gold advantage, 1 turret to 0, and then also individual CS leads in addition to kills. Solo is just skyrocketing up in that top lane, and then Moon also, even with that little early setback that he had from Levi, still standing pretty even in the CS count. And then mid and bottom lane, you've got a 9 CS lead for Linsanity, so he's doing a good job against that Zoe pick, but bottom lane's dead even.
Yeah, and Linsanity is really the only player from 100 Thieves we've seen kind of take control of their lane and actually sort of win this matchup. So things aren't looking too hot for 100 Thieves. Obviously it was rough for Levi to lose that CS lead he had, and now we're just seeing Clutch Gaming completely take control of the map. They've got deep vision in the top side of 100 Thieves jungle. They manhandled them on that tower dive. Things just are looking a little bit rough moving into the early game here for 100 Thieves.
So it looks like Lane's pushing up top side. Brandini going to try to get himself some free farm. Looking at itemization, is there anything that's kind of caught your eye a little bit that might come across as out of the ordinary or maybe a little bit awkward of what it should be?
I think we're seeing pretty standard builds here. Of course, they switch away from the items right as we're talking about them, but I think we're seeing pretty standard builds here. There's nothing here that really strikes me out of the ordinary. We're seeing both teams play through the lanes, or attempt to, I guess, play through the lanes that I thought they would going into this. Obviously, Solo has just been crushing it top lane, which is what you want to see from an LCS player in the academy, but it's not what you want to see when that LCS player is playing against an academy player who's going to be starting at Rift Rivals in the LCS. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess, but we've got a Rift Herald play.
Yep, Rift Herald is getting 2-on-1'd out by Moon and Solo. But going back to that, I mean, is they're going to probably take this one down uncontested. You know, you say they're playing through the lanes. If you're 100 Thieves Academy, you're a little bit behind in this early to mid-game kind of transition. So what else can you do? Isn't that what your expected course of action would be in that regard?
I mean, I think 100 Thieves is still just really... I mean, I think their best bet right now is just going to be to try to really utilize the power of that Xayah Rakan bot lane, because it is so strong. And, you know, they've got a great team fight potential with the Trundle Xayah Rakan, too. So
Ooh, a lot of damage. So Rift Herald summoned up in the mid lane, and they should be able to get this turret. They're actually backing off. They're not going to be able to get a turret, so complete, pardon my language, dare I say, wasted use of the Rift Herald. Don't quite get that map. Don't get the map opened up from that mid lane turret. I guess it is low enough now to where they could potentially siege up at a later date, but even still, probably not your 100% use of that. Exhaust used up by Sun. Tried to go for the all and didn't quite get the stun or anything like that.
No, seeing a little bit of questionable play from Sun here. Actually, you know, as I mentioned earlier, I was expecting Sun to kind of own that matchup against the Twisted Face, since Zoe is so strong right now, but actually not doing too well.
So the bottom lane tier 1 really, really low on the side of Clutch Gaming Academy. Do they want to go in for a little bit of an aggressive stunt? Is very low. Piglet, True Shot Barrage is down for another few seconds, so can't try to go for the global and secure the kill. It looks like the back should be free. Nevertheless,
yeah, and
no dragon's gone by. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh no, you're good. I mean, yeah, no one's really going for the dragon. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing Levi trying to play bot more, because bottom lane is where it's at for 100 Thieves right now. It's the only lane they have that's actually pushing in their favor. And Clutch Gaming has these huge... Oop, got a backstop by Linsanity. Nice little play there. But, I mean, there's advantage for Clutch Gaming in both the top and mid lane, so I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing, like, more roams from Linsanity or Levi trying to play more towards the bottom lane. I think that's poor use of 100 Thieves team power right now.
And it looks like Vision as a whole is kind of being dominated by Clutch Gaming Academy right now. With that tier 1 down in the top lane, they do have a couple of wards in the river and also one on the top side jungle. So they, you know... dominating map control at this point. I only see 2 wards on the map, maybe 3 for the side of 100 Thieves Academy as opposed to the other side.
Yeah, and a lot of them look like they're just in the top side of 100 Thieves jungle trying to spot out the wards that Clutch Gaming put there. So they're not even gaining 100 Thieves vision, they're just trying to compete with the vision that Clutch Gaming already gained. And, you know, you're totally right. Clutch Gaming has complete control of vision right now, which is why you saw them take the Rift Herald completely uncontested, and we might be looking at a dragon play here.
It looks like they're trying to get some control on the bottom side of the jungle. You know, if they can take down that tier 1 mid lane turret, I think that would open up the map entirely, to which would, you know, pretty much secure them that dragon uncontested, which it looks like they may be going for.
Yeah, and I mean, 100 Thieves, they're down 2 kills, they're down gold. They don't really have the ability to contest that, which is why I was surprised when Clutch Gaming actually pulled off of the Rift Herald earlier. They could have easily probably just sieged that out if they stuck around, but they did get it now, so.
So they get the turn. It doesn't look like they want to go for gold. The turret is going to go down in the bottom lane, so a 1-for-1 match, but we get the jumps up and in. Teleports coming from both top laners. They get the stun. Turn up and around. Oh, it's just a whole bulk of damage. Look at the blue health bars deteriorating.
Oh, what a disaster.
Levi. Solo trying to do a break D on the one. He's going to go down to Solo, and they take an easy 3-for-0. On an engagement that was initialized by Vulcan. They take the 3-for-0, go up 6-1, clear out the map. They could take a tier 1 in the bottom lane, also take the dragon.
Vulcan, you dirty animal, my god. That ult for Vulcan on Tom was absolutely dirty, coming in to behind the 100 Thieves bot lane and just absolutely destroying them. And now, I mean, you asked me earlier, did I think that the first blood for Levi was worth it? And I assumed that 100 Thieves would have other kill opportunities, but they still just have that kill. So I'd say now, yes, probably worth it. Things are not going too well for them here.
Yep, a little bit behind on itemization as far as that's concerned, but if you're 100 Thieves Academy right now, you're coming to this down almost, you know, 4,500, 4,700 gold. Down 2 turrets to 1, you're down that 1 dragon. What's your, I don't want to say win condition because this is far from over, but what's your transition point to get back into this one, I should say?
Oof. I mean, you know, again, I think it's played through the bottom of the map because if you look at who has the most deaths and who's behind the farthest, you got 1 and 3 Levi and 0 and 2 Brandini. Their top side is losing really hard, but their bot lane is actually doing well. You know, we actually see the Xayahs up on CS over the Ezreal. You know, we've got Tom Kinch, who does have a little bit more CS than Rakan due to taking Targons, but the bottom lane is the only lane that's even remotely pushing close to even. They did get the turret for 100 Thieves, and Clutch Gaming did not get the bot lane turret. So I think the game is all about bottom right now for 100 Thieves, and they're going to have to play through that.
Right now. Oh, God. Yep. Oh, no, please don't do that. Somebody can't get out of this one. Linsanity getting knocked up a little bit. He's on a turret. He's got 3 members, and he's going to go down as well. That should be the turret. I don't think anybody could have expected anything else. Valiant effort by Linsanity, but he's going to go down there. It's 3-on-1. There's not much he can do, and they do take the turret as well. So all 3 tier 1s down for the count in favor of CGA as 100 Thieves Academy looking to collapse, maybe take advantage of some kind of engagement if they can. Levi
try and do anything.
Gets the pillar knock away. Stunt trying to jump in, but gets stunned up by Moon. Nice job. And now Piglet's still basically behind enemy lines, forced to arcane, chipped up and out. Moon to the backside. It's Brandini and Moon, mano-y-mano. And Clutch Gaming Academy are just trying to poke. Is stuck very low. He's about 1/3 of his HP. Solo all the while. Up top lane by himself.
Yeah, you know, you've got that. Oof. Levi, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy?
I don't think much is going to come from that. And they forced Brandini down in the bottom lane. He didn't have teleport available, so that was a free turret for Solo at that point in time.
Yeah, you know, you got Aatrox, who's up 3 kills now, 3, 0, and 2, completely dominating the game. If you leave him alone, he's going to push down all those turrets, but it's a lose-lose situation for 100 Thieves, because if you get him into a team fight or into a 1v1, he's probably also going to win that. So things aren't looking too good.
Well, it is a long game. You know, there's obviously always chances and comebacks and opportunities to capitalize on. As far as absolute scaling goes, what do you have to look forward to in this matchup? So obviously, as far as late game goes, which team do you think is going to be able to take this one? So if we get this game, dare I say, to 35 to 40 minutes, when builds become irrelevant, who's got it in the bag?
It's a good question. I think that both teams have kind of an interesting mix of strong late game and strong early mid game champions, because, you know, you've got champions for Clutch Gaming like Ezreal, who's all about that early mid game, really hitting those 1-2 item power spikes and dominating through that. But then you've also got champions like Sejuani or Zoe, who just scale really well into the mid late game. And it's kind of the same thing for 100 Thieves, you know? You've got Mundo, who scales super well into late game. And here we go again.
So Destiny coming out from the... Oh, so
close.
Linsanity! Linsanity! Making it rain. Nice, skirty, finessey moves, and Linsanity makes it out with the Destiny and gets some wave clear as well.
I'm wondering if they shouldn't have Linsanity sub in for Rift Rivals instead of Brandini or Levi, because so far he is where it's at for 100 Thieves. That was a dirty ult right there.
I don't know, man. It's really hard to call that 100% skill, and there's got to be like 3% luck built in there. That was a strong play, though, absolutely, from Linsanity to secure his own safety.
I think he got 2 of Clutch Gaming's ultimates for that. He got both the Sejuani and the Tom Kinch ult for that, so good play by Linsanity there, trying to keep himself alive.
Something I can say about Piglet in 100% absolute, his arcane shifts this game have been more aggressive than I think I've ever seen an Ezreal do. He's arcane shifting into the enemy team, not even worrying about using it for cutting potential. He just wants all the aggression.
Yeah, and following up on that, he's also had some amazing defensive play. I think I might have missed saying it earlier, but at one point, I think, you know, 100 Thieves bot lane did attempt to go for a level 2 Xayah Rakan, and he arcane shifted out of the Rakan knockup, the Rakan W. So he's been playing phenomenally this game in terms of really utilizing that Ezreal mobility.
So it looks like we may have a nice aggressive start. Stun's up and in on his stunt. He's about half HP. The tier 2 middle lane turret still up and about. Solo kind of lurking at the side, looking to find his way in. And we might have a little bit of a Mexican standoff here as Clutch Gaming Academy look to kind of retreat just a little bit and maybe back and spend a little bit of money.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about the gold lead a little, because it's widening pretty severely. You know, we're at that 8.7k mark right now in terms of Clutch Gaming's gold lead. And obviously they're 3 towers up, they're a dragon up, they're a Rift Herald up, they're 6 kills up. You know, you were talking about the late game. I don't know. I don't know how likely, which is kind of bad for 100 Thieves, because I think 100 Thieves arguably does have the better late game composition. I think they have more champions that scale better into a late game, because arguably Aatrox and Ezreal kind of drop off, whereas I think you could only argue that maybe Twisted Fate kind of drops off in the late game, but I think 100 Thieves does have a better late game composition, so that's probably what they're going to be pushing for, is that late game. But, you know, I mean, it's also, when you're down 6 kills, you pretty much just have to be looking for picks. Their team fighting potential is pretty much gone right now, which is also rough for them.
Well, Dragon is live, Baron Nashor is also live. It looks like they've started off with kind of a solo laner going to every lane to just shove those lanes out and get the map control 100% back in their favor. Some more defensive wards out for 100 Thieves Academy. So if you're Clutch Gaming Academy and you're kind of on the aggressive here, what's your next course of action? Where are you targeting out on the map?
Oh, definitely Baron. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we see them taking the dragon, but that's not even a question. 100 Thieves was never going to get there. They have no vision. They don't even know what's going on. So definitely Baron. If I'm Clutch Gaming right now, I'm looking to set up that vision, you know, really take control of the top side, group up, and just look for that power play right there. Because I think if Clutch Gaming gets Baron here, it's probably just going to be a push to the end.
Well, it looks like a stun up and out. Okay. Sun stays alive, going to skirt a little bit. They did take the dragon all the while. Soloed it out, for lack of a better term, and then took the tier 2 in the mid lane as well. And now it looks like he's migrated back towards the bottom lane to face his counterpart. 100 Thieves Academy grouped up mid for a 4-man push to clear it out a little bit. And now all map control and eyes are on the Baron, I would say, for Clutch Gaming Academy, as you said.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, the advantage that Brandini does have is that he's Mundo, so he can't die. So he can make those little 1v1 engages on the Aatrox. But, I mean, you know, you're also looking at almost a 100 CS difference and a 3-kill and 2 assist difference between the 2 top lanes. So, rough game.
And it looks like they are going to go ahead and start up that Baron. At this point in time, it's uncontested. 100 Thieves Academy probably have a good idea. As Piglet did walk over that ward, they may know what's going on. Baron is getting melted very quickly. Destiny comes out. True Shot Barrage as well getting used up. Teleport's coming in.
Got Levi sneaking around.
Academy wants something here. Solo jumps it in, and Start just gets obliterated. Flight going to go ahead and pursue, and the aggressive shots as well from Piglet again with the arcane shift into the enemy team. And they take 1 kill for none. Half HP just about. No Baron. So 100 Thieves Academy stave it off for a little bit, but it does cost their support his life.
Oof. I don't know. There's not much to say about that other than just oof. Because when you've got a Dr. Mundo on your team, and he goes in to initiate a team fight and instantly gets melted to half health, that's when you know that you have no team fight potential. If your frontline meat shield is instantly shredded out, it's going to be hard to fight off of that. And we did see Levi kind of sneaking around there, but, you know, nobody on 100 Thieves right now can actually take the damage that Clutch Gaming can dish out, which makes contesting an objective like Baron, even though they need to if they want to stay in the game, almost impossible.
Well, it looks like CGA and 100 Thieves Academy both did make a beeline straight for that Baron pit right as it started, and Brandini gets caught asleep and he's half HP. Something also important to note, Brandini used his teleport in that last engagement. Solo still has his up, so he's retreated to the bottom lane for a little bit of a split push, and he could potentially take this turret and come in for a Baron fight, and forces the back from Brandini.
Yeah, and Brandini's actually not going back to Baron right now, so it looks like 100 Thieves might just give this one up.
So that's a free Baron, uncontested, over to Clutch Gaming Academy. 100 Thieves Academy coming from the back. Levi might try to go for some kind of steal if he can. Drowsy's up and put to sleep as well. Sun does a lot of burst damage. Levi's just lurking around the side. They're going to try to go for it. Flash from Levi. They get the stun. He's going to go bye-bye birdie. And Solo is on a rampage picking up his 4th kill. And that should be the Baron. All the while done. Clutch Gaming Academy pick up the first Baron Nash of the game at 24 minutes in, 47 seconds. And now they'll take their backs, purchase their gold, and stretch their advantage even more if they can.
And, you know, ouch. Yeah, there's not that much you can say from the perspective of 100 Thieves other than just Why? I mean, Levi, I think the idea was right. The idea to try and steal. Because if you're 100 Thieves, you're not team fighting when you're 8 kills behind and when you're over 10,000 gold down, about 11, 11.1k down.
Close.
Close.
So I think your onomatopoeias today are oof and ouch.
Pretty much. I don't know if there's that much else. Just size of, oh boy, here we go again. I mean, it's just hard to watch a team get taken over this badly, but that is what Clutch Gaming Academy is doing to 100 Thieves Academy.
Oh, we get the stun on the stun. He's solo. Piglet's on a rampage. Another aggressive arcade chip. True shot barrage. Levi is solo, and they are forced to back up and out. Solo down on the bottom side as well, picking up that tier 2 turret. And now they look to push and maybe make a stab at the first inhibitor of the game as the back is forced out. So Levi going to try to get some health up. Stunt dead for another 15 seconds. Piglet goes up and aggressive again. They get another stun. 3-man knockback. Solo.
There's nothing you can do.
That's a triple kill for Solo on the Aatrox. The inhibitor's going to go down, and dare I say they're about to call game, Elijah.
Solo is massive right now, and there's no that is game. there's no chance there for 100 Thieves. They're just gonna have to sit back and take this one.
So the Nexus goes down, and Clutch Gaming Academy take the feature matchup over 100 Thieves Academy in a 26-minute, dare I say, stomp. It definitely wasn't the closest of games. So Elijah, what's your takeaway from that one? Especially if you're 100 Thieves Academy, how do you go about regrouping after that and kind of recuperating and getting to the next set? What do you need to do to change it up and fix the loss?
I mean, we talked about a prolific use of the words oof and a lot of disappointed sighs. I think that's also the reaction 100 Thieves players are probably going to be having right now, because that was a gut punch, man. They got utterly stomped right there by Clutch Gaming Academy. It wasn't even close. The only kill they ever managed to get was that first blood, which Levi actually sacrificed himself getting. And there were so many misplays from Levi in that match. I mean, from giving Solo the early double kill under turret to killing himself, trying to steal the Baron, just way too aggressive, way too far up on a jungler that cannot actually dish out that much damage and be able to contest objectives that effectively when they're behind. And I think if you're 100 Thieves, you just need to look at your communication. You need to look at your win conditions. You need to say, all right, we're up against a pro LCS top laner who's up 2 kills and 100 CS right as we barely even hit the mid game, right? That was a late early game that Solo had that advantage. And so the question then becomes, why are you still trying to play through your top lane if you're Levi? Because bottom lane is where it's at. So I think 100 Thieves showed very poor macro play, a lot of poor decision making and playmaking, and they just really need to get their win conditions straight next time they head into a match if they don't want that result to duplicate itself.
Well, goodness gracious. So 26-minute dub for Clutch Gaming Academy, and I believe that is their first or second win of the Academy season so far. I know they've had a little bit of a struggle, right?
They have.
This matchup.
Yeah. They have, and it was good to see them dominate that much, honestly, because their last few matches, the one against Golden Guardians Academy, they actually showed pretty poor macro play. At least I thought, dare I say it, their macro play was not that strong. And so seeing them come back, obviously having practiced that, really taking control of those objectives, really taking control of the map. We also have to talk about the vision dominance they had, because their wars were all over the place, and 100 Thieves had almost no vision control that whole game. So seeing Clutch Gaming really improve that macro play and take it to the next level, I think really bodes well for their Academy team going into some of these other matchups, especially because 100 Thieves Academy is a good team. We talked about Brandini and Levi starting at Rift Rivals. They're good players. So being able to show that dominant of a performance against a good Academy team really bodes well for Clutch Gaming's future, I think.
My last question for you, Elijah. Out of everybody you had to pick for that game, and I think I know obviously who it's going to be, but we do have to pick a most valuable player. On the side of Clutch Gaming Academy, I'm just going to go out on a whim and say you're going to go with Solo.
I actually think Sun really showed. Yeah, of course it's Solo. Oh my God, he absolutely destroyed 100
You
Thieves.
had me
That
going,
was
dude. You
brutal.
really had me going. You know, I mean, honorable mention also to Piglet. Piglet was really aggressive on that Ezreal pick. Really, there wasn't a single lane for Clutch Gaming Academy other than you could argue the mid lane with Linsanity kind of showing up an even matchup on that Twisted Fate, but it's arguable that they kind of showed a hint of dominance everywhere across the
Yeah,
map from top to bottom.
completely. I think Moon did a great job getting back into the jungle game after starting out. I think he had like 4 CS to Levi's like 17 starting out. So he started off at a pretty big deficit, actually, losing the camp that gives the most experience in his jungle. He came back really well. We saw some great ultimates from him there in team fights to completely take control of the team fight game. Obviously, Piglet and Vulcan bot lane. Good God. Vulcan, we always talk about Vulcan's playmaking support potential. He's so good on Thresh. He's so good on Morgana. He's so good on things like Braum. But when you get him on a support with the ability to initiate a fight, he is dirty. He used Tom Kinch's ult so well. Oh my goodness. There were so many dives he made that were just beautifully executed. So, you want to talk about a great use of a playmaking support and really effectively playing against that notorious Xayah Rakan duo bot lane from 100 Thieves. I think Vulcan might kind of be the unsung hero of this match. And obviously, Piglet, what can you say about the guy? He's a great player. He did what he usually does on his ADCs. He went off. He did great.
So, Elijah, any closing remarks for tonight? It's night for the books.
Nice job, Clutch Gaming. I mean, again, I'm really happy to see them improving on that macro play. I think they did a great job. 100 Thieves, got some things to look forward to practicing, especially considering some of those players are going to be going into Rift Rivals and starting positions. And, just reiterating what you said during our first commercial break, I think we ought to give another thank you to Corsair for kind of sponsoring this whole gig.
Yep, so the next best caster competition that Clutch Gaming is putting through, being sponsored up by Corsair. They're offering free peripherals and supplying those to all casters in the competition. So it's me, Elijah, and 6 others going through this 8-week battle, essentially, if I remember correctly, all the way to the end, where the top 2 will be crowned King and King casters. You thought I was going to say it, but I didn't. But anyways, that is the only game we have for you tonight. It was our feature matchup here in the Clutch Gaming versus 100 Thieves Academy North American Academy League Championship Series. So other than that, it's me and Elijah signing off. So I'm Nick Tastevinjako. He's Elijah Jabberwocki Andes, and we are signing off tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow here on Clutch Gaming.
See you, folks.
Peace.